If you're looking for that competitive edge, perhaps you should consider chiropractic care. Like athletes at all levels and in all sports have discovered, chiropractic care can help improve your performance. Let Chiropractic Arts Clinic help enhance your competitive edge and put you back in motion. Call 252-2424.
Welcome to Spotlight in the Sun, production of Jamestown Sun Interactive. I'm with Jerry Berquist, Stutzman County Emergency Manager, and Reed Schwarzkopf, Jamestown City Engineer. We are in the very early planning stages for some preparedness for another high water event this year, or the possibility of another high water event this year. And what kind of things are being done at this point, Reed?
You want to...
Or Jerry?
Why don't you take that off?
I'll just start out. It was about a week and a half ago, the Corps of Engineers from Omaha made their kind of initial run up to Jamestown and was describing to us the snowpack capability up above the two dams, and basically that Jamestown should be looking at a release of up to 1,800 cubic feet per second, which doesn't mean that that's going to be the magic number. We know that we're going to look at elevated releases. I mean, that's pretty obvious just looking at the snowpack. But how much those releases are going to be, that's the big question. The city was asked to prepare for up to 1,800, and that's why you saw the city of Jamestown declare that emergency at their city council meeting on Tuesday. Because what we need from the Corps right now for preparing for this event, if there was going to be an event, is their technical expertise. And you would think that I'd be able to call up the Corps in Omaha, or that Reed could call them up and ask for that service, but it's not that easy. It comes from the federal government, and to make that happen, you have to go through a series of events to make it happen. The emergency declaration was the first thing that had to occur. The second thing that had to occur was also on that day, Reed approached the county commission, and you were there that day also, Keith.
I wished you better luck next time, actually.
No, actually, as Jerry said, it's one of the few times that they can deny something and feel good about it, and it's really appropriate.
It is. And so, because the county just doesn't have the resources, so since Tuesday, there has been a letter that's been written to the North Dakota Department of Emergency Services asking for the assistance from the state, and if the state does not have the expertise, to get it from the Corps. So we're at the point right now, we know that when we've asked in the past, the state has not had the expertise. Right. So the governor has to write a letter to the Omaha Corps of Engineers asking for that assistance. And that's the last piece of this puzzle that we have to work through in order to open that door to the Corps of Engineers assisting the city of Jamestown.
And then in the meantime, as all that is going on, of course, then we've got people in Public Works that we're getting the accounting. We pulled out the 97 footprint, and we realize what we're looking at is a maximum magnitude for possible diking, sandbagging, and pumps, and we're currently going through the pump inventory, making sure of what we have and what we're going to need, and trying to get those all lined up in the event that we do need them in here.
The Corps coming in here to talk about this, I'm assuming, is already in the planning stage, even if they haven't gotten the official request yet.
Right, I would think so.
What type of things are we going to have to do to prepare for 1,800 cubic feet?
Well, the first thing is actually, the reason for the technical assistance is to actually validate that that is what we're going to have to prepare for. The Army Corps of Engineers, with the experience that they have in dealing with these two reservoirs, as well as river experience period, are far more versed in this. And 2 or 3 or 4 weeks down the road, with the additional data they're going to have a better forecast model, a better idea of what they're going to actually have to discharge, and they'll be able to look at their data with our needs and our concerns and evaluate what, if anything, we're going to have to do. Then it's a matter of beginning to press those buttons. Do we need to do a channel cleanout? Do we need to build a dike? Do we need to put some pumps here or whatever? And we'll go ahead and respond accordingly. But we do need that additional expertise to start this thing, just to make sure that we're not missing anything.
You would think that we would know this by heart, but actually last year something occurred that made some of the game change. And that's when we were releasing that 3,200 CFS down the river. That was a lot of water that was being released, and actually what it did, we noticed that as we were ramping down from 3,200 last year and going back down past 1,800, at 1,800 CFS, the river gauge should read 12 feet here in Jamestown, but it read less than that. And so we know that we've got a more efficient river channel than we had before, but do we have
did we maintain the efficiency? Did we become more efficient because we scoured? Did we maintain the efficiency with the extra debris? These are the questions the technical assistants will help to address.
Right.
You've mentioned some river debris cleanup, and that was a part of a meeting. Is that something that's being requested? What's the status on that?
It's a possible request, yes. It's initially last year we had requested that at the advice of the Corps, because they were saying this isn't a bad idea given the complexity of the river. And because of how rapidly we had to ramp up the releases, we were simply unable to get that in. We were just in the third of the 3 phases of dike construction, had bid that project out, and within just a couple of days, they were already ramping up releases. So we were simply unable to get to the river. Again, it's a possible thing. It may happen. We'd like to see it happen selfishly, because we'd like to have that debris picked up.
Sewers were a big issue in the last high water event. What is the status of that as we start to plan for this possibility?
Largely, there hasn't been a lot that's been done. We're trying to. We do have the storm sewer study underway right now with a consultant. We're trying to get the sanitary sewer study information out. We've had some revisions to that because of my discussions with consultants, and frankly, it's been busy. I just finished up with the last of the PWs from last year's events within the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I'm still working on recovery. But in any event, we should have that out on the street here before too long, and we do have some areas that we are going to be doing some work on in a couple of lift stations, especially the primary number 1 lift station. But it's really going to be key upon how long this presumed 1,800 release might occur. If they have to get up to 1,500 or 1,600 or 1,800 for a couple of weeks, we probably will not see much of any real infiltration. If they have to sustain like a 1,500 to 1,800 release for, say, 12 or 14 weeks, yes, we could see some infiltration problems. Again, the magnitude we won't know until we get there.
Well, gentlemen, thanks for being with us here on Spotlight in the Sun. We have Jerry Berquist, Stutsman County Emergency Manager, and Reed Schwarzkopf, Jamestown City Engineer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keith.